Hello, it is I, Luke Colborn, Occupational Health and Safety Officer here at the school. I'm shooting in a different location today. It's a little warmer in here, but you don't need to know all that. Anyways, we are continuing with our quick hitter video tutorial, health and safety training videos. And today we are going to unpack the STS Emergency Response Plan red folders. These are in every classroom, as well as many public areas, offices, and the like. So these are power packs of health and safety reference guides, resource materials that we can refer back to in the case of an emergency. Okay, so don't leave home without it. Inside these red power pack folders, we have many different resources, reference materials, starting with the classroom summary. And this just gives us a nice, easy, plain speak breakdown of what to do in the case of the 7 different emergency functional protocols we have. Okay, so you got your lockdown, shelter in place, all clear, on alert, drop, cover, hold, evacuation, and hold and secure. So a nice breakdown of the emergency functional protocols. And that way you'll never get them mixed up. Okay, next we have a quick reference guide. So this takes a little more in-depth look at the functional protocols, but as well it gives us some emergency response numbers, school-specific stuff, okay, and then how to respond in the event of an incident, an emergency. All right, this one is actually an 8-pager. All right, and then on the back some more emergency-specific stuff and what we can expect to see and do in the case of an incident-specific emergency. You know, a hostage taking or a power failure or a train derailment, stuff like that. Quick reference guide, very handy. Site-specific procedures. Okay, this is another sort of variation on our functional protocols. So all the same information in here specific to our organization. So we have more emergency contact numbers. We have evacuation sites, procedures on how to evacuate to different schools even. We have a lot of personnel, specific personnel that are responsible for certain things in an emergency. So, for instance, evacuation sweep teams or traffic control teams or first aid teams or student supervision leaders tasked with making sure student attendance is taken, and so on and so forth. So the site-specific procedures, very specific to our organization. So a very important guiding document as well. All right, we have our status cards. These are to be used to convey status of our staff and students during an emergency. And so I advise that you look at another safety tutorial that I've put together, which walks you through how to use status cards and why we use them. All right, so we won't spend too much time on those today because there is another training video that deals in status cards. Okay, now we get to our site maps. So this will be an overhead shot map of our staging areas, student release areas, things like this in the case of a major emergency where we need to set up shop outside, triage areas and whatnot. This is all here. Okay, different maps for the inside, our evacuation routes, some lockdown maps. This will cover all schools, so these are multiple pages. And I believe there's also a shelter-in-place map in there. Yeah, there it is. So where can we go for safety in a shelter-in-place emergency? All right, so each one of us is on a buddy team, and buddy teams are just for staff to make sure we can account for all staff. So if we get out to a student assembly area or muster point and we see that one of our buddy team members is missing, we need to react accordingly. This might mean taking charge of a class that doesn't have a teacher, and making sure that students are accounted for and making sure we send help looking for that missing buddy team member, see if we can account for them too. Okay, and then we of course have a student attendance list. This is K through 12. They're all the same in every folder. Student first aid medical forms, and finally student accountability forms. Okay, so this is for a missing or an extra student. All right, there's also a pen and a pencil in there. Those are the Power Pack red folders. Don't leave home without them. I hope this has been helpful. Any further help you may need, give me an email and we'll sort it out.
Safety. It's a smooth move.